Everyone has seen it by now, but in case you had bad eyesight, then I've got some bad news about your health care.
President Trump celebrating the House successfully passing the Republicans' latest plan to replace Obamacare.
What we have is something very, very incredibly well-crafted. How am I doing? Am I doing okay? I'm president. Hey, I'm president. Can you believe it, right?
Yeah. Even Donald Trump can't believe he's president. I guess he does relate to the American people after all, you know? I can't believe that guy is president. I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. And today was crazy. No doubt about it. Because after 7 years of foreplay, and with just 2 votes to spare, the House Republicans successfully passed a bill to repeal Obamacare, which could mean more than 20 million Americans would no longer have health insurance. People with pre-existing conditions could see a massive spike in their premiums, although the truth is we don't know any of this for sure. Why? Because Republicans passed this bill without an official scoring of its costs from the CBO. So the true effects of the bill could be anything. Hell, your baby could have to do its own C-section from the inside. You don't know. And you know what? That's the problem with politics these days. Republicans cared less about the bill's quality than the optics of getting a bill passed. And we know that they didn't like this bill because they kept on telling us.
It's not the most perfect bill, but nothing's going to be perfect. So let's move it forward. Let's get it to the Senate.
Is it perfect? No, it is not.
I've made my piece saying, okay, it's the best that we can get out of this Congress at this time.
We think that it's a step in the right direction. I've been working with my Senate colleagues to hopefully improve it in the Senate.
Again, I'm just very anxious to see the Senate get to work on this same project.
It's something that we can live with.
Something we can live with? That's a particularly poor choice of words. Right now, there's someone with cancer watching that going, who the is we? Because the big difference between the bill the House passed today and the one that failed 6 weeks ago is that this one is even worse for people who are most vulnerable. Basically, Republicans said, hey, all the poor and sick people, what do you need? All right, psych.
The current bill phases out the expansion of Medicaid and allows states to opt out of the requirement that insurers cover basic health services like maternity care, mental health treatment, and even ambulances.
Yeah, how insane is that? Under this bill, if you live in a red state, ambulances might not be a basic benefit anymore. Now, when you get injured, you get picked up by a taxi with a bachelorette party on the roof. That's all that's going to happen. They'll be, woo! You'll be like, please, I've got to get to the hospital. Yeah, but first, can we stop by McDonald's? I think I'm going to throw up. And you know what? It gets even worse. Because right now, Obamacare doesn't let insurers raise rates for people with pre-existing conditions. But with this bill, their rates could go way up. And if people can't afford those higher rates, they get thrown into something called a high-risk pool, which sounds less like an insurance plan and more like something you find in Charlie Sheen's backyard. And now, Republicans will tell you that they'll subsidize these high-risk pools enough so that everyone in them can afford health care. The only problem is math.
The GOP bill calls for $8 billion over 5 years to fund these high-risk pools.
The $8 billion is essentially a drop in the bucket.
We're looking at a graphic there of that $8 billion that caused a lot of the Republicans who were no's to turn to yes, and you see that that still leaves a huge shortfall of about $192 billion.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it out there. If you're short by $192 billion, just say you don't have the money, right? That's not being short. You can't be like, oh, hey, man, I left my wallet at home. Can you spot me $192 billion? Yeah, I'll Venmo it. I'll Venmo it back. You can't be short by the GDP of Greece. That is not short. That's not the money. And by the way, I love that this proposal is called the Upton Amendment. They might as well call it the Kate Upton Amendment because there's barely any coverage. And with the two parties in total disagreement, what would be a good way to figure out how much of a disaster for the American people this bill is? Well, I mean, you could ask any of the organizations that know anything about healthcare, old people or sick people, what they think of it.
The plan has been panned by most major interest groups, including the American Medical Association, the AARP, and the American Cancer Society.
The American Lung Association, the Heart Association, the Diabetes Association, the March of Dimes.
The National Rural Health Association opposed to this bill. The American Thoracic Society opposed to this bill. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, the National Organization for Rare Disorders, and the National Coalition for Women with Heart Disease.
Almost every group is against this bill. The American Cancer Society, the AMA, the AARP, the AA, double batteries, AAA, Triple H, H&M, and Preparation H. And they know a pain in the ass when they see one. You know, there are many people who are going to be mad about what happened today. And one group that should be more pissed off than any other is Trump voters. Because we all remember what we heard from Trump during the campaign.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
No, sorry. No, not that one. The stuff about healthcare.
Everybody's got to be covered. Everybody's going to be taken care of, much better than they're taken care of now. We're going to have great plans. They're going to be much less expensive. Pre-existing conditions are in the bill. And I mandated, I said, it has to be. You'll get your doctor, you'll get everything that you want to get. It'll be unbelievable.
Yeah, Donald Trump is right. What happened today was unbelievable. Congratulations! You've been randomly selected as a winner of free Daily Show episodes. Yes, you. To claim your prize, just watch full episodes of The Daily Show for free anytime with the Comedy Central app or at thedailyshow.com. What a winner you are! So much winning.